B&B 2020. Are you ready?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are at Whilton Mill for this penultimate round of the Rich Energy British Mini Bikes Championship. My name is Chris Sora, and I'll be taking you through the afternoon's action. As you can see, looking at the paddock on the left-hand side of your screen, another big entry of riders for this penultimate round of the championship. We've got Junior Supermoto 140 and the Mini GP 140/50s making their way out onto the track. Another big group of riders here, and here we see the drone just chasing the riders around as they make their way up towards Christmas Corner. Really nice view of the track here, and very well maintained circuit here at Whilton Mill. I think all the tracks we've been to this year, certainly in terms of preparation, tracks are very well turned out, and they do feel like nice motorsport venues to go and visit. This drone footage here giving us a nice idea of the Christmas Corner, just how tight it is. And here we go down towards Zulu. Very tight, very technical part of the track. We've seen some overtaking there already today, but you've really got to be committed into the corners there. And it's the classic block pass down the inside really on some of these corners. So here they come down towards the line. Let's have a look at how they line up. It's Daniel Goodman first from Joel Gregg in second place, Peter Willis qualifying in third, Alfie Davidson fourth, Harvey Lathrope fifth, and Lewis Mullen in sixth position. Zach Weston seventh, Mason Greasley, Matthew Wood, Kobe Perry in 10th, Bobby King and Ty Butler in 12th place, 13th for James Cleary, 14th for Nathan Ellis Ward, Ty Collymore in 15th, Warwick Brady, Ruby Booth and Cade Watt in 18th position, 19th for James Walker, 20th Harry Pell, Toby Skaman, Kelsey Carter, 23rd for George Wood, and Asia Divine in 24th position. Jack Knights, Ozzy Thomas a bit further back in 26th. Joshua Williams, Brooke Champion, Bobby King, and Wilson Dilks all not posting a time, so they'll start a little bit further back. Getting dark now, of course, around 6 o'clock, so as we go to these latter parts of the season, it's a little bit of a battle against the day. So we may see the lights on a bit later on, of course, so riders having to deal with different lighting conditions as the day goes on. We've got one more round of the championship, of course, 2 weeks' time at Teesside. Still plenty of action here though at Whilton Mill as the riders look like we are ready to go for the restart. Visors down, and away we go for this restart. Uggly & Co. Junior SM 140 and Mini GPs, away they go. Good clean start. Everyone seems to have gone off the grid okay through Oblivion for the first time as we wait for them to make their way back up towards Christmas Corner. Good clean start, and the leaders pulling away now. Joel Gregg with a good start once again. Daniel Goodman on his tail going through into Christmas Corner. The midfield charging in. Oh, good move there from the number 8 in the midfield. That may have been Ty Collymore, I think. Had a good move going down towards Christmas Corner in the midfield. Leaders now making their way down towards Zulu. There's Peter Willis, Lewis Mullen third and fourth. Zach Weston very close indeed as well. Harvey Lathrop, Mason Greasley, Kobe Perry, Matthew Wood and James Cleary rounding out the top 10. As the back of the field there was the number 46 of Brooke Champion through Zulu. The leaders now round the final corner, and look how close this is now. Joel Grigg, fastest lap of the race, first time round, 47.6. This is what we're looking at the moment, the 47s on that first lap. And Daniel Goodman in second place on the 57, looking strong into Christmas Corner. Not close enough to go for a pass though. Goodman holds on to second place. Just shadowing the back wheel of Joel Grigg at the top of the circuit. Down towards Zulu they go. The top two starting to break away slightly here from Peter Willis in third, Lewis Mullen in fourth. Harvey Lathrop in sixth place on the treble 2 leads the junior supermoto machines from Mason Greasley and Matthew Wood. Those riders a little bit further back. And in fact, there is Lathrop in sixth position with the Dayglow yellow helmet. Sixth place on the track, and Lathrop leading the junior supermoto riders. The rest of the Mini GPs making their way through. Battle with third place here. Peter Willis, Lewis Mullen, all very close. Zach Weston, fifth position. on the number 135 on the bike. There's the, a little bit further back there, the 28 of Mason Greasley as they go through Christmas Corner. Greasley currently 7th on the track, 3rd in the junior supermotos. We saw the 2 leaders just going out a shot down the hill. They're lapping now in the 45s. So Joel Grigg and Daniel Goodman 1st and 2nd. They go down towards boot. The battle still on for 3rd place though, as Peter Willis and Lewis Mullen very close for 3rd and 4th here. Let's have a look at Mullen now just trying to peel away on the inside, coming out into the final corner, getting a drive into oblivion. Has a look down the inside, and Peter Willis holds on to that 3rd place. Zach Weston and Harvey Lathrop still in there, 4 laps to go. There's Lathrop on the treble too as the rider going a lap down there. That may, I believe, be Brook Champion. Champion just holding the line there, letting the faster riders go through around the outside. The right way to go about it, and there they all go through. No one really held up by the slower riders. Down they go through Zulu. John Grigg still leads from Daniel Goodman. The battle on for 3rd place, Peter Willis and Lewis Mullen. Willis on the 151 in 3rd place, going through boot now. Mullen all over the back wheel. Here they come down towards the final corner as Mullen has a peek down the inside. Now he's going to try and get the drive again into oblivion. Not close enough to go for a pass here. Here we come back to the leaders though, as Joel Grigg leads the race. Daniel Goodman having looked down the inside into Christmas Corner. Grigg's got the line. Goodman again just trying to find a way through here, just shadowing the back wheel. Looking for lines here down towards Zulu. It's all very tight and twisty down the hill. And Goodman looks quick through Zulu. Down they go towards the boot complex once again into that tight left-hander, followed by the long sweeping right and almost a 180-degree hairpin in essence. Here they come down towards the final corner. Ray looks quick through there though, round the final corner, pulls away from Goodman slightly. Both these riders lapping very well at the moment. And Joel Grigg right on cue with the fastest lap of the race, 45.041. Goodman not much slower, 45.3 last time round. So they really are lapping quicker than the chasing pack. 1 or 2 back marks in front. Trouble here on Zulu. Oh, and a rider's gone down pretty hard in the midfield. 2 laps to go. That's on the approach to Zulu. Very slow part of the track. So the yellow flags and right on cue, I think would be a stoppage there. The red flag has come out, so we've had an accident at the top of Zulu. Oh, and the 2 leaders almost came together there. So, well, 2 laps to go, and I believe that race may well be declared as So as our great pit bike action draws to a close, we wait now for our next race, the second moto of the day for the Uggly & Co Mini GP and JSM 140s. They're currently in the waiting zone and will be out on the track in just a few moments. We'll have a look at how they line up very shortly for you as well. So this is the Junior SM 140s and 50s. They're down in the waiting zone, going out onto the track now for their formation lap. Still plenty of action on this afternoon. We're well and truly into the second block of racing now. We're just approaching the halfway point. And next after this will be the SY Moto Veterans. We've got the OMG O'Varley 110 Cup to follow as well. Brap Super Minis. And then the Pit Bike Stock 140s, Mini GPs later on. But let's have a look at the Junior SM and Mini GP race, how it lines up. Daniel Goodman will be at the front of the field from Joel Grigg. Peter Willis in 3rd, Alfie Davidson 4th, Harvey Lathrop 5th, and Lewis Mullen in 6th place. 7th for Zach Weston, Mason Greasley in 8th, Matthew Wood 9th, Kobe Perry in 10th, Bobby King and Ty Butler in 12th. James Cleary, Nathan Ellis Ward in 14th, Tayo Collymore, Warwick Brady in 16th place, Ruby Booth and Cade Watt in 18th place. James Walker, Harry Pell, Toby Skaman, Kelsey Carter in 22nd place from George Wood, Asia Divine in 24th. Running up the field was Jack Knights in 25th place, Osian Thomas without a time, and that pretty much was it in terms of the riders lining up in that first race earlier on today. In terms of the championship, of course, going into this penultimate round, in terms of the Mini GP class, Peter Willis on the 151, leading the championship by just 2 points from Daniel Goodman. Lewis Mullen just a little bit further behind in third. Realistically, the championship is going to go down between those three riders as we head towards the final round at Teesside. Assuming those three riders can get a good finish in this race, it will keep the championship wide open going into the final round at, of course, in a couple of weeks' time at Teesside. Riders on the line now, just waiting for one machine that's lost the engine on the grid there. You can see towards the back there, the marshal just helping to get that bike started. These four-stroke machines, they can be a little bit difficult to start sometimes when they get hot, so might be a few moments. There is Goodman there actually at the front of the grid on the 57. Very distinctive BWT sponsorship graphics on the side there, the pink and blue colour scheme. Certainly well, it can be easy to spot out on the track. The bikes are ready to go and the race is about to start. Here they go. Goodman gets a good jump, but no, Joel Grigg round the outside takes the lead immediately from Goodman. Willis there in third from Lewis Mullen. So all the championship front runners have got away well. Harvey Lathrop leads the junior supermotos. There he is, the treble two, just a little bit further behind. Oh, and have to be careful there because of Zach Weston and Lewis Mullen battling for position. So Harvey Lathrop leads the junior supermoto class on the treble two. There's the 1:11 of Lewis Mullen, but a great start there from Joel Grigg. Got away very well at the start and leads them through for the first time. Oh, trouble in Zulu for the first time. Two riders hitting trouble. That's the number 8. 2 or 3 riders down. There's a bit of trouble there. That's on the approach to Zulu. I think that might have possibly that looks like Tayo Collymore trying to get his bike restarted. The race goes on. It's certainly everyone seems to be okay and unhurt. It's just a couple of bikes stalled out on the track, and none of this, of course, bothering Joel Grigg, the race leader. There he goes, number 3. Maybe Wade Yellows. Is Collymore still there on the track? There's 57 in trouble as well. That is Bobby King. There's the Wade Yellows. King's back on the... He's got to be careful here, King, because the leaders are bearing down on him already, and I don't think he knew they were there. So Daniel Goodman trying to seize the advantage there, but no. Joel Grigg holds on to the lead, and Peter Willis still there in third. There is the 57 back onto the power now. Bobby King, I think Tayo Collymore still out of contention. He's got the bike restarted. I haven't seen him go through yet. And look at this battle now. There's Lewis Mullen, Harvey Lathrop, the leader of the Supermotos. Mason Greasley, 28, second of the Supermoto riders so far. And Greasley currently in 7th place on the track. There's treble 2. So Lathrop, the Supermoto leader. Right behind him then is the 28 of Mason Greasley. A little bit further back is the number 18 of Nathan Ellis Ward, currently 3rd of the Supermoto riders. But it's still very close at the front here as the leading group make their way through. There's the 1:11 of Lewis Mullen closing up on Zach Weston as leaving a bit of a gap there is the 46 of Brook Champion, who goes a lap down. Joel Grigg still leading 45.149, fastest lap of the race. Makes his way through. Goodman in second. Up the hill they go here are the front runners here as Willis has a look down the inside of Goodman. These positions. Joel Grigg, of course, not really a championship contender, you would say, at the moment. Grigg looking in terms of the championship status. He was a no score at LFR and at Lid. So again, this is a similar situation to what we saw in the pit bikes earlier. We've got Joel Grigg, who's currently going into this round 7th in the championship, and realistically is not a championship contender, but plays a part here because he will potentially take points away from other riders battling for the championship here, which adds another dimension to it. And at the moment, it wouldn't be so bad if he takes the win, because Peter Willis, Daniel Goodman, Lewis Mullen will all battle for positions. But here, hypothetically, if Daniel Goodman can get past Grigg and take the lead, he will put a little bit of a cushion between himself and his championship rivals. So all very exciting here at the front. And Joel Grigg certainly has established himself as a front runner in this class in the last couple of rounds of the championship, looking in good form here today at Whilton Mill. He goes into boot. Goodman keeping the pressure on. He's got hardly anything between him and the rider behind him, number 151, who led the championship going into this round, Peter Willis. Second and third, well, first and second I should say, in the championship, making their way through. So assuming that Goodman, Willis and Mullen can stay where they are in terms of track position, This would make for a very close championship finale 2 weeks' time at Teesside. Still a long way to go though, 7 laps to go in this race, and we've got to concentrate on the here and now, you would say really. Joel Grigg, number 3, 44.951, fastest lap of the race, has actually pulled away a bit now from Daniel Goodman. As we look at the number 35, then Weston and Mullen there down the hill. Zach Weston, 35 on the bike, and number 1 on the timing screens. There's the race leader. Joel Grigg goes down the inside. I think that was Brook Champion. Tayo Collymore, incidentally, who we mentioned earlier, was caught up in that melee on the first lap. He's got going again and is actually up to 20th place. So a good comeback there from Tayo Collymore, considering he really was cut adrift at the start of the race. There is Brook Champion being lapped by this great battle here between Peter Willis and Zach Weston going into Christmas corner. Looks like Weston has got the corner, holds on to the 3rd place as we go through Christmas. Oh, he's bumped by the back marker though, bad luck there, but he makes his way through, down through Zulu. That could really have cost Zach Weston dear, but he recovered well and holds on to that 4th position. Peter Willis, 151, currently in 3rd. He really could do with getting ahead of Daniel Goodman in terms of the championship, and Goodman's doing well here. He's pulling away. He's in 2nd place and leads by just over 1.2 seconds. There's the number 100 of Kelsey Carter, currently in 17th place as the leading group make their way up towards Christmas corner. Zach Weston pulling away slightly now from Lewis Mullen. Again here, Mullen really needs to try and get past Weston to get through into that 4th place. This is all very nip and tuck in terms of the championship here, and at the moment certainly going the way of Daniel Goodman. There's the 134 of Toby Skayman, currently in 16th place, again about to be lapped by the leading group. So here's our leader, Joel Grigg, number 3, down the inside of, I believe that's James Walker. Just to interrupt the race, just a shout out to the paddock in the stock 160, the podium for the stock 160. And there goes Kate Watt up to Christmas corner, but just to recap, the stock 160 podium, Rhys Stevenson, Jim Lovell and James Mostica. That's the stock 160 podium, Rhys Stevenson, Jim Lovell and James Mostica. Can those riders please go to the hospitality area to collect their trophies? And we turn back to junior SM 140. There's the 477 of Cade Watt, currently in 13th position. Joel Grigg leading the way, 1.3 seconds covering those top 2 riders. There's Grigg around the final corner. 3 laps to go, 53 just going through there. Kobe Perry currently in 12th place, about to be lapped. Oh, as Daniel Goodman loses a little bit of time there as he tries to get past Cade Watt. All benefiting Joel Grigg, number 3, the race leader, who's again gone past the 46 of Champion. There's the 477 of Watt, currently a lap down. Cade Watt in 13th place, just been lapped by the 57 of Daniel Goodman, who's 2 seconds adrift of the leader. Willis still 3rd, Weston, Mullen, Greasley in 6th place, Lathrop 7th. So in terms of the Junior Supermoto, Mason Greasley on the 28 leads the Supermoto riders. And here they come through towards Booth, the leading group for the final time. Well, the final time, this lap I should say. 3 laps to go as Joel Grigg goes through. So we really are running towards the closing stages. 2 laps to go of Junior Supermoto Mini GP 140s. And your race leader really is starting to establish himself at the front now. Is the number 3 of Joel Grigg, looking very good at the front. Into the right-hander and down the hill he goes through Zulu once again. They come through Zulu, and there is Goodman, but Joel Grigg heading towards the 1 lap board. It's looking good for him so far. He's battled his way to the front and holds on to the lead as they make their way towards the final corner. Joel Grigg, 1 lap board about to go out for him. There's Collymore, who's battled back well after the trouble at the start of the race. He's up to 19th place now. And into the right-hander they go. There's the 53 of Perry, currently in 12th place. Lewis Mullen drops a position to Zach Weston. That again could be pivotal in terms of the championship, but it's all going the way of Joel Grigg here as we go towards the final half lap through Zulu for the final time. Here he goes, and again, as we said at the start, in the middle of the race, you would say this could be a vital part of the championship here, because Grigg is not a championship contender. it's all serving to take points away from those riders going into the final round at Teesside. But you have to say full credit here to Joel Grigg, who has been in top form today. Round the final corner, another race win for him. Number 3, Joel Grigg, has won superbly. There he goes, Daniel Goodman in second. That'll be good news for him in terms of the championship. He punches the air as he goes through. You can tell that is an important race for him, as he has finished ahead of Peter Willis and Lewis Mullins, so that will serve him very well going into the final round at Teesside in 2 weeks' time. Oh, that's close in terms of the Supermotos there, as Harvey Lathrop goes through in 6th place, number treble 2, just ahead of Mason Greasley, and takes the Supermoto victory. James Cleary in 8th place, going to be Ty Butler, 97, just went through in 9th place. Nathan Ellis Ward, there he goes, just losing out on the final lap to Warwick Brady for the top 10. Once again, just a shout out to riders in the stock 160. We need the podium riders, Reece Stevenson, Jim Lovell and James Mosticker to make your way to the hospitality area. And turning our attention back to the live stream and back to the track on next race of the day, the second moto of the day for the SY Moto.